Hi Capricorn, welcome to Ruby Reads Tarot. I'm Ruby and welcome to the month of June. Capricorn, so I think you're getting quite used to such strong outer planets which hold quite impactful influences to our lives. You might be getting used to how over the course of the past few years, perhaps the past 5 years, a lot to do with your private life has sort of been brought to the surface, and you might have been asked to readdress the way you see yourself, how certain things, certain experiences have made you grow. And you find now we're in retrograde with a lot of these planets. Saturn, Pluto, Jupiter, they're just the ones that are in retrograde in your sign. But we've got Venus going retrograde and Mercury going retrograde in the month of June. How does this affect you? 7 of Cups. You know, it makes you really readdress the things that you thought were one way and were actually another way. They might even have you re-examine the things that you thought you wanted and now you kind of don't want them anymore. It might even be reminiscent of things you once had. This fell into my lap. I have the 4 of Cups. Okay, so if you're reminiscing about what you had in the past, I wonder if right now you're not seeing your blessings because you're too busy looking at what you had. Whereas now really is the time for a lot of growth, personal growth, how you are amidst relationships. I also see this as you manifesting a way out of a bit of a lackluster situation. You're manifesting some sort of union, partnership, relationship, soulmate connection. Something that could potentially lead to marriage. The High Priestess. You're finally getting to trust yourself. Justice could be in regards to a Libra. 7 of Swords. There is stuff that I think not so honest stuff that may have been happening between a partnership, and June sees you bringing, just through your own essence, through your own intelligence, your own intuitiveness, bringing your own justice to the table. This to me looks like a lot of karmic retribution. This to me looks like someone's trying to get away with something. And it could be in a committed relationship. And it could be something that you may have already known. Something that you may have already become quite familiar with. And I think it may even have been a bit of a coming and going, to and froing situation where somebody they may have even shown you outrightly that they're not really relationship material. And then I think this thing might have happened where they might have gone and you may not have been forthcoming in inviting them back. And for some reason now you find yourself looking back. Let's get some more clarity. So all these planets in retrograde, what is the point of all of them? Well, Justice card here, it is to bring some scales back to balance. And it is to maybe realign you in your own truth. So if we're to say over the past 5 years, the course of action may have meant that a lot of what you believed to be true wasn't necessarily true. It gave you the opportunity perhaps to graduate from the school of life. Here you are now, faced with a situation, could be with a Virgo, possible Libra, possible water sign, Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You might be faced with something that is reminiscent to something that has you really looking within yourself and seeking some sort of inner wisdom, inner guidance. And I really think the key here is to perhaps shut down all external noise and really see where you can bring back some more balance into your life. And listen to your intuition a lot more. And if you feel like your intuition's been quite off, I think you might be doubting yourself. If you've had suspicions, if you've expected something to be a lot more firm than it actually is, I think you are either being asked to go right back to basics with it and see where you can start again, what you can do to maybe build it in a more firm way, where it is in your past the answer to what you're going through now. I really wouldn't be surprised if that's what all of these retrogrades are asking you to do. Where is it in your past that you can learn the lesson or take direction to what's happening now? Could be in regards to a Taurus, this is signifying some sort of marriage or solid commitment. This is a partnership. This is very much a relationship reading. There's a lot of soul searching, and I think this is stuff that you might need to take time out, Capricorn, and do. There is something that is reminiscent in your life that has kind of got you on edge. Should you go forward? Shouldn't you go forward? Should you go forward? Shouldn't you go forward? And I feel as if you're so consumed with everything that could go wrong, or all the things that have previously gone wrong, that you might be cutting the potential of this situation to get better. I just feel with the 7 of Swords, are you guys done being dishonest with each other yet? 6 of Cups. Wow, 7 of Cups, 4 of Cups, 6 of Cups, and Temperance. Could be in regards to a Sagittarius. I've got the 6 of Cups and the Sagittarius card for me really makes me think that if you're waiting on a Sagittarius, you are really reminiscing and you're really looking back to the good that this person brought into your life, how they supported you in a community, how they felt like, you know, the sentiment value was really there, and it was something that I think brought some sort of balance to you. And there is a lot to do with personal balance in this reading. So I just wonder, Capricorn, with the force of all these retrogrades that are taking place, I think you really got to get realigned and kind of see where it is that your partnerships might be suffering because you're hanging on too tightly to things that had happened before. Hierophant, High Priestess. What a spiritually big month for you. Hermit card also. June really is a time for introspection. And I feel as if you've already got the answers to all of your questions, Capricorn. What you're bringing to the table this time is a lot more sturdy. It's a lot more solid. I think you're just afraid of disappointment, and you're afraid of this, like, poverty almost. There is a need for you to look at your coin, because it seems as if, bottom of the deck, 10 of Cups, I'll take that too. It seems to me as if you're really scared of going into some sort of poverty, and I don't think that that's what's happening. I think you're coming out of a phase of lack, or not having enough, or not feeling like you have enough. And I feel a lot of your discontentment with perhaps the general quality of your life, or what's been going on with relationships, like the toing and froing, the resentment that you might be harboring from your past, this Saturn retrograde might actually be asking you to clear up a lot of what we would otherwise call karma. Clear up any emotional debris from previous relationships. See where it is that you can perhaps change your mind about relationships in certain ways, like maybe things that you might have, systems that you might have had set in place after experiences that had gone on in your life. This for me is almost like a real lack consciousness, poverty consciousness. And I wonder if, Capricorn, you can maybe use this time to see how it is that you can cover your bases a lot better, so that you don't have to fall into any traps or fall into any, maybe this card I should take, 5 of Wands, bickering, and how it like really lowers your energy and how it depletes you. Maybe that is something that this is really making you consciously aware of, that situations that bring about a lot of conflict or are about a lot of conflict really deplete you. And not only do they deplete you financially, but they're depleting you energetically, they're depleting you romantically, and they're kind of keeping you away from attaining not only this vision of what you would like your perfect future to be, which, let's face it, with all of these retrogrades going, all of these retrogrades happening, by the time they all come out, we're kind of given a bit of a slingshot and thrown into the direction that we want, as long as we're not consumed with poverty consciousness or lack mentality or really like belittling or making ourselves small. This really is a time for you to maybe spend a lot of time in introspection, a lot of time with yourself. This is Gemini season, you know, sensory overload, information overload, and I think you might even need to unplug and kind of balance out the scales a little bit. Listen to your intuition, because there's a bit of soul searching that you need to do. A bit of soul searching that might have the answers to a problem that you couldn't quite overcome, and it's taking such a toll and it's having such a detriment to the rest of the relationship, when I think you can actually see longevity in it. So to hold yourself back, you've either got to really be focused on your self-development and your self-improvement and your self-growth at this phase, and actually like let everybody around you know that that has to be your commitment at the moment, because that will be your longest commitment, and it is your most sincere commitment. The one that you have with yourself is the one that ultimately decides whether or not you win or not in this program. There's a deep inner knowing that I think Pluto in your sign, Saturn in your sign, and Jupiter in your sign, there is a great deeper growth. It's like that whole iceberg scenario where you only see the tip of it above the water and the rest of it's like 100 times the size at the bottom. There's a lot of internal stuff that you've been doing. There's a lot of internal growing that you're doing. And I just don't feel you would have accomplished it or would have done all of it or even did yourself any justice by holding on to things that you should really be consciously aware of letting go of now. What are you like in commitments? The honesty factor in relationships, like how does that play out? How much honesty is there, right? How important is honesty? The bickering, the belittling, maybe it is something that may not be openly apparent, but your view on it, maybe it's something that you might need to look at. I think in June, get really focused and clear on the end goal. And I think June really does give you the opportunity to find yourself connected in a bond that is strong, okay? One with longevity in it. These two people make each other happy, right? This is a happy union. I'm not saying that unions don't come with their own versions of ebbs and flows, but they're quite content to contain them within those cups. It doesn't consume them. There's a whole 10 on offer if you should wish to pursue it. Just go at it with the right angle. And I think a lot of this self-development stuff is boring as hell, yes, and it's difficult and it's like exhausting. but it's imperative. It's what grows us. It what evolves us. It's what, you know, makes us better people. And if the purpose isn't to be a better person, what are we doing any of this for? If you enjoyed the reading, do give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment. Let me know if it resonated. I'm Ruby. To book a reading, visit rubyreadstarot.com, and I shall catch you guys again soon.